God is about to do a miracle in your life, but first you must believe it is already done. You see, the miracle you are waiting for is not somewhere far away, in some distant future, but right here, right now, within your own consciousness. The moment you shift your awareness and realize that you are already the recipient of the miracle, you open the door for it to unfold. The key to experiencing this miracle lies in your belief. Not a belief in some external force working on your behalf, but a belief in the power of your own mind. The power to shape your reality is yours, given freely by God. It is within your thoughts, your imagination, your ability to see what others may not see. What you imagine is what you bring into existence. The moment you see yourself living the miracle, you have already invited it into your life. Everything begins with a vision. Close your eyes and feel the presence of what you desire as if it has already taken place. Sense the joy, the gratitude, the fulfillment of that miracle in every cell of your being. Your emotions are your creative tools. What you feel is what you are calling into existence. Do not wait for the miracle to show up before you begin to feel it. Feel it now, in advance, and watch as the world begins to shift to match that inner state of being. It is not about waiting for some magical event to occur from the outside, for God is not distant, nor is He separate from you. God is within you, and He is your very own consciousness. The power that created the universe, that moves mountains and parts seas, resides in you. The moment you recognize this, you realize that there is no limit to what can happen in your life. You are not just waiting for a miracle, you are the miracle. The miracle is already within you, awaiting your recognition. What you are about to experience is not a random act of chance or fate. It is a direct response to the thoughts and feelings you have been nurturing within yourself. Every moment you have spent longing, desiring, and dreaming has been setting the stage for this moment. You are being prepared to receive the manifestation of all that you have believed to be true about your life. There is no delay, there is no time between your vision and its fulfillment, except in your own mind. You must align yourself with the feeling of already having it. If you continue to look outside yourself, searching for signs of the miracle, you will remain in a state of waiting. But when you look within, when you affirm that the miracle is already in motion, you will begin to see the evidence in your outer world. It may not come in the exact way you expect, but it will come, and it will come in a way that shows you that God has heard your every prayer, seen every tear, and knows the deepest desires of your heart. The miracle is already done in the unseen. It is unfolding as we speak. Your job now is to walk with confidence and faith, knowing that what you desire is not just possible, but inevitable. It is already manifesting in ways you cannot yet perceive, but trust that it is. Let go of doubt, for doubt will only delay what is already on its way. You must walk by faith, not by sight. As you step forward into this miracle, do not be surprised by its grandeur, its timing, or its shape. It may not look like what you expected, but it will be more than you ever dreamed. Remember that God's timing is perfect, and His plan for you is more magnificent than you can possibly imagine. When you open your heart and mind to receive, you will see that this miracle has been waiting for the perfect moment to unfold. And that moment is now. The truth is, the miracle you have been waiting for is not a far-off dream, but a reality that is already here. All that is required of you is to accept it, to trust in the process, and to allow it to manifest through the power of your belief. Be ready to witness the unfolding of something extraordinary, something that will change the course of your life in ways you never thought possible. For instance, God is about to do a miracle in your life. Be ready to receive it with open arms, knowing that it is already yours. The miracle is not coming tomorrow. It is happening right now, in the very moment you choose to believe. You may find yourself standing at the edge of a dream, questioning how it could possibly come to fruition. But remember, the essence of creation lies in belief. What you believe in and what you feel deeply in your heart is what you will experience. God does not wait for you to be perfect, to be without doubt, or to have everything figured out before He moves in your life. What He requires of you is faith, the belief that He can and will make the impossible possible through you. Think about how your life would change if you believed that the miracle is already in motion. What if you stopped waiting for external circumstances to align perfectly and instead trusted that everything you need to see your desires unfold has already been given to you in the unseen realm? Your miracle is not something you have to chase or search for. It is simply something you must align with. When you align your thoughts and emotions with the certainty of your miracle, the universe begins to shift in your favor. Do not allow fear to cloud your vision. Fear tells you that the miracle is not coming, that you are not worthy of it, or that it is too late for you. But fear is a lie. Fear is the voice of doubt, and doubt is the only thing that can prevent your miracle from reaching you. Understand that fear is not a reflection of God's will for you. God's will for you is abundance, peace, and transformation. His will for you is a life filled with miracles. The only thing standing in your way is the thought that it cannot be so. The moment you release that thought, the floodgates open and the miracle is free to flow into your life. Imagine that you are walking down a path, and ahead of you there is a magnificent door. You stand before this door, knowing that it leads to the fulfillment of your deepest desires. But in order to open the door, you must first have the key. The key is not something that can be found outside of you. It is within you, and it is the key of belief. When you believe that this door is already open, when you believe that what you desire is already yours, the door swings open effortlessly. But if you stand there, doubting the door's existence, questioning whether it will ever open for you, you will remain stuck at the threshold. It is only when you step forward with the certainty that the door is open to you that it reveals itself. This is how you must approach your life, knowing that the miracle is not far away, not a someday event, but a present reality waiting for you to recognize it. You have the power to call forth the miracle by simply aligning yourself with the belief that it is already yours. When you stop seeing yourself as lacking, when you stop seeing your circumstances as obstacles, you will begin to see that everything you need has already been provided. You are not waiting for the miracle to happen to you. You are calling it into being by the power of your thoughts, your emotions, and your unwavering faith. There is no distance between you and your desires, no gap between what you want and what you can have. The only gap that exists is the one you create through doubt and fear. When you let go of the limiting beliefs that have kept you from your miracle, you will see how effortlessly everything begins to align. Things that once seemed impossible will suddenly unfold with ease. Opportunities that were once out of reach will now be in your grasp. Relationships that seemed broken will begin to heal. Health that was once elusive will be restored. The miracle you are waiting for is already on its way, and it is only a matter of time before it manifests in your life. This is the power of belief, the ability to create your reality by seeing it first in your mind's eye. When you believe that you are worthy of the miracle, when you believe that it is already done, you will begin to witness the unfolding of everything you've dreamed of. The miracle you seek is not outside of you, it is within you. And it begins with the thought that you are deserving, that you are ready, and that the time is now. Understand that the moment you align yourself with this truth, everything around you begins to shift. The universe responds to your inner state of being. Your thoughts are magnetic, and they pull in the experiences, circumstances, and people that match your vibration. If you continue to think that the miracle is out of reach, that it is too far away or too difficult to attain, you will continue to experience that reality. But the moment you shift your thoughts, the moment you begin to see the miracle is already done, the universe has no choice but to respond. It is as if the world is a mirror reflecting back to you the image you hold in your mind. If you look into the mirror and see only lack, only delay, only struggle, that is what will be reflected back to you. But if you look into the mirror and see the miracle already manifesting, already unfolding in your life, that is what the universe will reflect. Your belief is the catalyst that activates the divine law of attraction. You are not waiting for something to happen. You are stepping into the fullness of your desires by simply seeing them as already true. There are times when life may feel uncertain, when the circumstances may not align with what you are expecting. But remember, the external world is not the true reality. The true reality is the one you create within. The moment you decide that the miracle is already yours, the external world must follow suit. Everything that seems impossible will fall into place. The impossible will become possible, and you will marvel at the way things begin to unfold. This is why faith is so powerful. Faith is the knowing, the deep inner knowing, that what you desire is already yours, even before it appears in the physical world. Faith is not about waiting for evidence. It is about believing without seeing, trusting that everything is already in motion. Faith is the invisible force that activates the power of God within you. And once that faith is in place, the miracle cannot help but appear. You may wonder, how can this miracle come to me when I don't see any evidence of it yet? The answer is simple, because it already exists in the unseen. Everything you desire is already complete in the spiritual realm, and all that is required of you is to align your mind with the truth of its existence. Once you do that, you will begin to see it manifest in your physical world. God has already heard your prayers, seen your struggles, and felt your desires. He knows the deepest longings of your heart, and He is moving on your behalf, even when you cannot see it. You are not alone in this process. The universe is conspiring in your favor, and every moment of your life has led you to this very point. Now is the time to step forward in faith, knowing that the miracle you seek is not just possible, it is inevitable. So, be ready. Be ready to receive what has already been given. Be ready to see the shift in your life, to witness the miracles that are unfolding right before your eyes. As you embrace the truth of your power, as you align with the vision of your desired reality, the universe will respond in ways you cannot yet imagine. Trust in the process, trust in your ability to create, and trust that the miracle is already on its way. You are on the precipice of something extraordinary. Your miracle is not coming tomorrow, it is not coming next week, it is here now, in this very moment, and all you have to do is believe. Believe that it is already done, believe that it is already yours, and be ready to experience the miraculous. The time for your miracle is now. As you stand here today, the universe is conspiring in your favor. You may not see it yet, but everything is aligning. The challenges you have faced, the struggles you have endured, and the dreams you've carried have been preparing you for this moment. God has not forgotten you. Your prayers have been heard, your desires have already been woven into the fabric of the universe. You are not waiting for something to happen, it is already happening. Think of the miracle as if it is already in motion, not as a distant event you hope for, but as an unfolding reality. The moment you begin to see it in your mind's eye, you activate the power within you to bring it into being. The life you want, the dream you've always had, the breakthrough you've been longing for, it is already within your reach. The miracle is already within you, but it is up to you to believe, to step into the flow of your own power and claim what is rightfully yours. Too often people wait for a sign, for something external to happen before they feel they are ready to receive. They wait for the conditions to be perfect, for the timing to be right, or for a moment of validation. But what you must understand is that the external world is simply a reflection of your inner world. The miracle is not something that happens up there, it is something that begins in your consciousness. What you see in your life is a direct manifestation of what you believe to be true. The world does not need to change for your miracle to appear. It is your beliefs that need to change. The moment you stop seeing yourself as separate from your desire, the moment you stop feeling unworthy or unprepared, your miracle begins to take shape. The desire for that miracle has been placed in your heart by God. It is not by accident that you long for something greater than your current circumstances. That longing is the invitation to step into the fullness of who you are, to become the person you are meant to be. Every thought you think, every word you speak, every feeling you hold is creating your reality. You are the architect of your life. You are not a passive observer waiting for things to change. You are the creator, shaping your experience with every belief you hold. When you believe in your miracle, when you see it already completed in your mind, you activate the divine law that brings it into the material world. Understand this: there is no delay in the universe. The delay exists only in your mind. Time, as we perceive it, is simply an illusion. There is no past, no future, only the eternal present. And in this present moment, your miracle is already done. What you desire is already complete. The only thing that remains is for you to step into the reality of it, to believe in its existence and to accept it as already yours. You may wonder how this is possible, how your situation can change when everything around you seems to say otherwise. But the power is not in the situation itself, it is in how you choose to see it. If you look at your current circumstances and focus only on what is lacking, what is broken, or what is not yet manifested, you are only reinforcing the illusion of separation between you and your miracle. But if you choose to focus on the truth that everything you desire is already within you, you will begin to see the evidence of that truth in your life. When you decide to see yourself as already possessing what you desire, the universe begins to shift to make it so. This shift happens in subtle ways, and sometimes it may not look like what you expect. The miracle may come in a form you never imagined, but it will always be greater than anything you could have envisioned. The universe does not give you what you want. It gives you what you believe you are worthy of receiving. And the more you step into the belief that you are worthy of miracles, the more miracles will unfold in your life. Every moment you spend doubting or fearing is a moment you are delaying the manifestation of your miracle. Doubt keeps you trapped in the belief that the miracle is not possible, that it is too far away or too difficult to achieve. But faith moves mountains. Faith allows you to see the unseen, to believe in what has not yet appeared, to trust that the miracle is already on its way, even when there is no physical evidence of it. The more you walk by faith, the more the miracle will come into focus. Faith is not blind. It is the highest form of seeing. It is seeing the potential, the possibility, and the truth of your own divinity. When you see the miracle with the eyes of faith, you see beyond the limitations of the physical world. You see through the illusion of time and space and know that everything you desire is already part of your reality. Faith opens your eyes to the truth that your miracle is not something that has to come from the outside. It is something that is already present within you. Your miracle is not a random act of chance. It is the natural outcome of your alignment with the divine. It is the fruit of your trust in God's plan for you. You are not waiting for something to happen, you are waiting to receive what is already yours. And when you align your thoughts, your words, and your emotions with the knowing that it is already done, the miracle will unfold effortlessly. When you step into the knowing that your miracle is already complete, you step into the fullness of your power. You stop doubting and start believing in the infinite possibilities that are available to you. You stop waiting for things to happen and start creating the life you desire. You stop asking for permission and start living as though everything you ever dreamed of is already true. This is the moment when you shift from a life of lack and limitation to a life of abundance and possibility. When you stop waiting for something to happen and start living as though it already has, you activate the power of manifestation. And once you activate that power, there is nothing in the universe that can stop your miracle from unfolding. Remember, the universe does not respond to what you want. It responds to what you believe you can have. The more you believe in your miracle, the more the universe aligns with that belief. Your life begins to reflect the truth that you have already received your desire. You stop struggling and start flowing. You stop striving and start trusting. You stop seeking and start receiving. In this moment, make the decision to believe in the miracle. Make the decision to see it as already done. Let go of the doubt and the fear that has kept you in a state of waiting. Step into the knowing that everything you desire is already yours. Your miracle is already on its way, and it is coming in ways that you cannot yet imagine. You do not need to know how it will happen. You do not need to know when it will happen. All you need to do is believe that it is already happening. The moment you believe that your miracle is already here, you create the space for it to manifest in your life. And when it does, you will look back and see that it was not a matter of luck or chance, but a matter of faith and belief. You are the creator of your reality. You are the one who shapes your world with your thoughts and emotions. When you believe in the miracle, you bring it into being. When you align yourself with the truth that everything you desire is already yours, you set the wheels of the universe into motion. And soon you will see the evidence of that miracle in your life. Be ready. Be ready for the miracles that are about to unfold. Be ready to receive what you have already claimed. Be ready to step into the life you have always dreamed of. The miracle is not coming tomorrow. It is already here. The time to believe is now. The time to receive is now. And your miracle is on its way. You have already taken the first step by recognizing that something greater than you is in motion and that it is always working in your favor. Now, as you wait for your miracle to unfold, know that waiting is not a passive act. It is an active, powerful expression of your faith. There is no need to worry or doubt. Every moment of expectation is a moment that draws your miracle closer. You see, the law of attraction is not about chasing after what you desire. It is about attracting what is already in alignment with your vibration, your thoughts, and your emotions. What you must now understand is that your miracle is not external to you. It is already woven into the fabric of your being. It is a part of you that is waiting to be released, just as a seed is waiting to sprout once the conditions are right. Your thoughts and feelings are the soil in which this seed is planted. If you continue to nourish your mind with the belief that you are deserving of all good things, the miracle will begin to take root and grow. The moment you shift from a mindset of lack to one of abundance, the miracle begins to manifest in your life. When you stop believing that you are waiting for something to happen and start realizing that you are only waiting to fully accept what has already been given to you, you unlock the flow of divine energy. The universe does not operate according to the rules of the physical world. It operates according to the energy you put out into it. Your energy, your beliefs, and your thoughts are what shape your reality. When you align yourself with the truth of who you are, your miracle will come into being naturally. It is essential to understand that the power of manifestation is not a process of forcing or striving. It is about allowing, trusting, and surrendering. When you let go of the need to control the outcome, you free yourself to receive the miracle that is already on its way. The act of surrender does not mean giving up. It means trusting that you are supported by a power greater than yourself, a power that knows exactly how to bring your desires into reality. It is the ultimate act of faith. Now, let me ask you this. How much longer will you keep doubting your own worth? How much longer will you wait to believe that you are worthy of the miracle you desire? The universe does not withhold from you, it gives freely. Your miracle is not dependent on your effort, but on your ability to accept and believe. The moment you believe in your own power, in your divine right to receive, is the moment that everything begins to shift. Your circumstances may not yet reflect the miracle that you expect, but I promise you, the miracle is already in the works. The unseen world is constantly responding to the vibrations you emit. It is not about seeing to believe, it is about believing so that you can see. Your belief is the key to unlocking the door to the life you have dreamed of. No matter how dire your situation may seem, remember that the miracle is already within you. It is waiting for you to recognize it, claim it, and allow it to manifest. There is a beautiful truth here. The miracle is not just something that happens to you, it is something that happens through you. Your miracle is the result of your own conscious creation. You are the artist, the creator of your reality, and your thoughts and feelings are the brushstrokes that bring your masterpiece into existence. When you begin to see yourself as the co-creator of your life, the power shifts entirely. You realize that you are not at the mercy of external forces. You are in control of your experience. As you stand in the fullness of your power, you realize that the miracle is not something to be awaited from afar, it is something to be drawn out from within. You are the very source of the miracle. Your belief in your own potential is what calls the miracle into being. And the more you believe, the faster it comes. Trust in this. The moment you align yourself with the certainty that what you desire is already yours, the moment you stop waiting and start believing, the miracle will flow into your life with ease. You see, the idea of waiting for something to happen is based on the misconception that you are separate from your desires. But you are not separate from your dreams. You are one with them. You are one with the universe. You are one with the divine. The miracle is not something that has to come from somewhere else. It is something that is already within you, waiting for you to realize its presence. When you live in alignment with this truth, you begin to see that the miracle is not just an event that happens at some point in the future. It is a continual unfolding of divine love, grace, and abundance. The miracle is not a single moment of transformation. It is the constant flow of divine energy that is always available to you. As you open yourself to this flow, you will see that the miracle is not a destination, but a journey. Every step you take in faith, every thought you think with belief, brings you closer to the life you have imagined. Now, in order to allow the miracle to unfold in your life, there is one thing you must do. You must release all resistance. Resistance is the force that pushes against the flow of divine energy. It is the force that tells you that you are not worthy or that you are not ready. It is the voice of doubt and fear, and it must be silenced in order for the miracle to come. When you release resistance, you open the door to infinite possibility. You make space for the miracle to enter, and you allow it to unfold without obstruction. The best part about this process is that you do not need to know the how. You do not need to know how the miracle will come to you, when it will come, or what it will look like. The universe knows exactly how to bring your desires into reality. All you need to do is to trust, believe, and receive. The miracle is not something you have to force or control. It is something you simply need to allow. It is also essential to remember that the miracle may not always come in the form you expect. Sometimes what you think is a delay or an obstacle is actually part of the divine plan. What appears to be a setback may be a setup for something greater. The universe is always working behind the scenes to align everything in your favor, even when you cannot see it. Trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, and that the miracle is always on time. If you allow yourself to trust in this divine timing, you will find that the miracle comes to you effortlessly. It will come when you least expect it, but when it does, you will realize that it has been with you all along. The miracle is never far away. It is always within you, always available, always on its way. You are a living testament to the power of creation. When you tap into this power, you begin to see that the life you desire is not outside of you, it is inside of you, waiting to be realized. And when you align with this truth, you are no longer waiting for the miracle to come. You are simply awaiting the moment when the universe catches up with the reality you have already created. So I ask you again, are you ready? Ready to believe, ready to receive, ready to step into the miracle that is already yours. Your life is about to change, but it starts with one simple shift in your consciousness. It starts with believing that you are worthy, that you are capable, and that you are deserving of the miraculous. Once you make that shift, your miracle will begin to unfold. The divine has already heard your call, and your miracle is already on its way. It is time to stop waiting and start believing. The miracle is unfolding right now in the quiet spaces of your thoughts, in the hidden recesses of your heart. It is already here, working its way to the surface of your experience. What you may not realize is that every moment you spend doubting or second-guessing, every moment spent in disbelief, is simply a moment delaying the inevitable. Your miracle is not dependent on time or circumstances. It is already an energetic reality waiting for you to claim it, to believe it, to trust in it. You do not need to search for your miracle, nor do you need to chase it. It is within you, embedded in the very core of your being. The universe, which is boundless, infinite, and filled with possibilities, is always moving in harmony with your intentions. The miracle is already in motion, and it is constantly aligning itself with the vibrational frequency you emit. The key to experiencing it in your life is simply to raise your frequency, to align your thoughts, feelings, and actions with the truth that you are worthy of receiving it. The world outside may not yet show the evidence, but in the unseen world, the miracle is being carefully crafted. When you feel lost or hopeless, know that the divine is busy working on your behalf, making preparations, weaving events and opportunities into your path. You may not see the process unfolding, but it is happening. Your miracle is in the making, and it is closer than you think. Think about how the seed grows. In the beginning, there is no visible evidence that something is happening. The seed is buried in the soil, unseen, yet it is undergoing a transformation. It is breaking open, taking in nutrients, preparing to burst forth into the light. So too is your miracle. Just because you cannot yet see it does not mean it is not on its way. Just because you cannot see the seeds of your miracle sprouting in front of you does not mean they are not alive, preparing to grow into something magnificent. This is why it is essential for you to trust in the unseen. You do not have to understand the process. The miracle does not need to be explained to you. It only needs to be believed in. The miracle will come when you stop looking at your current reality and start focusing on the truth that your desires have already been fulfilled. As long as you keep looking at your current circumstances and believing they are the final word, the miracle will remain hidden from your view. But once you align with the truth that your miracle is already on its way, you will begin to see evidence of it. You will feel it stirring deep inside you, preparing you for its arrival. Your job now is to hold space for the miracle. Be open to it. Be willing to let go of the how, the when, and the why. The universe has its own perfect timing, and when you trust in it, you release the need for control. Understand that your role in the miracle is not to force it, but to allow it. Surrender to the process and trust that what is meant for you will arrive at the perfect time. The miracle cannot be rushed, and it cannot be delayed. It will come when you are ready, when you believe, when you trust. The miracle you are waiting for is not just a one-time event. It is an ongoing process of transformation. As you continue to align your thoughts and emotions with your desires, you open the door to a continuous flow of miracles. This is why it is so important to stay in a state of faith, to remain in alignment with your truth, to keep believing even when the world around you seems to contradict it. The more you stay in the vibration of your miracle, the more the universe will bring it to you in ways you cannot even imagine. When you feel uncertain, remember this. Uncertainty is simply the gap between where you are now and where you are going. It is a space where you are being stretched, where the universe is making room for something bigger to emerge. If you allow yourself to rest in that uncertainty, without fear, without doubt, the miracle will rush to meet you. The uncertainty is not a sign that your miracle is not coming. It is a sign that it is on its way, preparing to arrive at the perfect moment. Do not let the appearance of things fool you. The external world is a reflection of what is happening within you. Your circumstances are temporary, but your belief in your miracle is eternal. This is why you must continue to nurture your faith, even when things seem to be falling apart. The miracle is in the process of coming together. When things feel most uncertain, when the world seems darkest, that is when the miracle is closest. In those moments, trust that it is on the verge of manifestation. Know that the universe is not a random force. It is an intelligent energy that works in perfect harmony with your thoughts, desires, and beliefs. When you trust in this intelligence, you allow the universe to guide you to exactly what you need, exactly when you need it. The path to your miracle is already laid out before you. All you need to do is to trust the process. Take inspired action when guided, and let go of all doubts and fears. Every challenge, every obstacle is a part of the divine plan. They are not setbacks but setups. They are opportunities for you to grow, to strengthen your belief, and to increase your capacity to receive. When you shift your perspective and see every difficulty as an opportunity to build your faith, you remove all resistance to your miracle. Challenges are not roadblocks. They are stepping stones, leading you closer to the divine fulfillment that is waiting for you. One of the most important things you can do while waiting for your miracle is to express gratitude. Gratitude is the highest vibration you can hold, and when you are in a state of gratitude, you are magnetizing your miracle toward you. When you are thankful for what you already have, for the blessings that are already in your life, you create space for even more blessings to flow in. Gratitude is the key that unlocks the door to your miracle. So take a moment every day to reflect on what you are grateful for. Let this gratitude fill your heart and watch how it begins to transform your life. It is also important to let go of any limiting beliefs or past experiences that tell you that you do not deserve your miracle. You are worthy of everything you desire. Your worth is not determined by your circumstances or by what you have done or not done. Your worth is inherent simply because you are. The universe does not withhold from you because you are not good enough. It gives freely because you are already deserving. Your miracle is not based on your past mistakes or your current situation. It is based on your ability to accept and believe that you are worthy. Take time each day to affirm your worthiness. Say to yourself, I am worthy of every good thing that comes into my life. I am deserving of my miracle. I am open and ready to receive all that is meant for me. These affirmations will shift your vibration and align you with the truth of who you are. And as you continue to affirm your worth, you will see that the miracle begins to take shape. The universe responds to your inner knowing, to your belief in your own worth. Your miracle is waiting for you right here, right now. It is already in motion, already unfolding, already on its way to you. The only thing you need to do is to get out of your own way. Stop doubting, stop questioning, stop resisting. Trust that it is already yours. Trust that it will come when the time is right, and know that it is closer than you think. So be ready to receive, be ready to believe, be ready to step into the life you have always dreamed of. The miracle is already yours. All you have to do is open your heart, your mind, and your spirit to receive it. As you stand on the threshold of this divine transformation, remember that the miracle you seek is already within you. It is not something to chase or wait for in the distant future, but something you must embrace in the present moment. Trust in the process, trust in the timing, and trust in your own ability to receive. The universe is always working on your behalf, aligning circumstances, people, and events to bring your deepest desires to fruition. Do not be swayed by the appearance of the world around you. Keep your thoughts focused on the truth that your miracle is already unfolding just beyond the veil of your current perception. Stay in alignment with your dreams. Hold steadfast to your faith, and believe that what you desire is not only possible. So as you move forward, hold your head high with confidence and gratitude, knowing that your miracle is not a matter of if, but when. Be ready to welcome it into your life with open arms, for it is already yours. And remember, the greatest miracle of all is the power within you to create the life you have always dreamed of. Trust in that power and know that everything you need is already on its way to you. There is a divine order to your life, a path laid before you by the unseen hand of God. You may wonder in the quiet moments of your heart if the person standing before you is the one destined to walk beside you. There is no need for confusion, for the signs are clear to those who listen, not with their ears, but with their spirit. When God chooses someone for you, He whispers through the alignment of circumstances, the stillness of your soul, the gentle nudge that defies all logic, yet feels more real than anything your eyes have seen. You will know, because there will be peace, not the fleeting kind, nor the shallow assurance that comes from words alone, but a deep, unwavering calm. Even in the midst of uncertainty, even when storms arise, there will be an inner knowing that this connection is not of the world, but of the divine. God does not bring confusion. Where there is strife, where there is relentless questioning, where the heart is restless, it is not of Him. But when the heart finds its rest in another, when silence speaks louder than words, when love flows without effort or force, God is present. Look for the way your spirit responds. Do you feel uplifted? Does this person draw you closer to faith, or do they pull you away? God will never send you a love that leads you into darkness. True love, the one He ordains, will make you more of who He created you to be. You will not have to shrink. You will not have to fight to be understood. In their presence you will expand. Your purpose will be magnified, your vision clearer. A divine connection does not compete with your calling, it complements it. Watch for confirmation in the quiet moments. The world rushes, but God moves in stillness. The answer is not always in the grand gestures, but in the smallest details. The way they pray for you without being asked. The way their presence feels like home. The way they see in you what God has placed within before you ever spoke it aloud. God speaks in patterns, in repetitions, in echoes that find their way back to you. Pay attention. If He is showing you again and again, through dreams, through scripture, through the unshakable feeling in your spirit, do not ignore it. There will be doors that open effortlessly. The love God writes for you does not require you to beg, to chase, to convince. His blessings flow not by force but by faith. If you find yourself endlessly striving to hold on to something, it is not meant to stay. But when love is from God, it remains. Even when tested, even when stretched, it finds its way back. It does not falter under pressure, but grows stronger. It is patient, it is kind. It reflects the very nature of God's love. And above all, you will know by the presence of divine joy, not happiness that depends on conditions, but joy that exists in all seasons. It is a love that teaches, that refines, that elevates both of you closer to God. If your love is making you more like Him, if it is filled with grace, with selflessness, with unwavering commitment, then it is a love that carries His signature. Do not fear missing what is meant for you. God is not the author of loss. What He has written cannot be erased. What He has spoken cannot be silenced. Trust in His guidance, surrender to His will, and let Him reveal in His perfect time the one He has chosen for you. There is a divine orchestration in every step you take, a sacred rhythm that moves beneath the surface of your reality. You may not always see it, but God is constantly aligning your path with the one who is meant to walk beside you. Love, when divinely appointed, does not arrive in chaos. It does not bring confusion, nor does it ask you to compromise the essence of who you are. When God desires for you to be with someone, He will make it known in ways that transcend human understanding. You will not have to chase, you will not have to force, you will not have to plead. What is ordained by heaven cannot be lost on earth. There is a whisper in your spirit long before the answer appears in the physical realm. It is the gentle urging, the quiet knowing, the way your heart is drawn, not in desperation, but in peace. God's voice is never loud, never demanding. It is in the stillness that you will hear it most clearly. If you feel led towards someone with an unshakable certainty, if their presence feels like a reflection of the prayers you have whispered in secret, then perhaps you are standing in the presence of something greater than mere coincidence. God does not operate in chance. He moves in divine purpose. Watch the way they love. Not just the way they love you, but the way they love God, the way they love others, the way they move through life with grace and kindness. A person sent by God will not only love you in words, but in action. They will not seek to possess you, to control you, to shape you into an image of their own making. Instead, they will love you with the freedom that God's love offers, a love that liberates rather than confines, that encourages rather than suppresses, that nurtures rather than demands. God's will does not manifest in chaos. If you find yourself constantly battling for clarity, if the relationship is filled with endless strife, if you are left questioning your worth, then this is not the love He has chosen for you. Divine love is not without trials, but it is built to withstand them. It does not waver under pressure. It does not flee at the first sign of difficulty. The person God has for you will be willing to weather storms with you, not because they are forced to, but because their heart has been knit to yours in a way that is deeper than circumstance. There will be alignment, a deep harmony that does not need explanation. Your purpose will not be diminished in their presence, rather it will be illuminated. The calling on your life will not be set aside, but strengthened. Love that is ordained by God does not distract from your destiny, it fuels it. The right person will not pull you away from the path God has set before you. They will walk it with you, step by step, with faith as your foundation. You will not have to abandon your dreams, your values, or your faith to make it work, for the right love aligns rather than disrupts. God speaks in repetition. If you are meant to be with someone, the signs will not come just once. They will appear in moments of prayer, in scripture, in the stillness of your spirit. Perhaps it is the way their name keeps finding its way into your heart. Perhaps it is the way you feel an inexplicable peace when you are with them. Perhaps it is the way your soul feels at rest, as if you have arrived at a place you have always known but never visited before. He will confirm what is from Him. He will remove what is not. If something repeatedly falls apart, if doors continue to close, if every effort to hold on to something results in more pain than peace, then let it go. What God ordains does not require you to beg for it to stay. The right person will not have to be convinced to choose you. They will recognize you as part of God's plan for their life, just as you recognize them in yours. Love is not always immediate, nor is it always easy, but it will always be right. If God has chosen someone for you, the journey may not be without struggle, but it will be without doubt. Even in moments of uncertainty, even in seasons of growth, the foundation will remain unshaken. There will be a depth to the connection that surpasses surface-level attraction. You will see glimpses of eternity in their presence. They will remind you of who you are in Christ, of the promises that God has spoken over your life, of the faith that sustains you when all else fades. God's timing is never rushed. You may feel the weight of waiting, the longing for clarity, the ache of wondering when the promise will be fulfilled. But if you trust Him, you will see that He is not delaying, He is preparing. What is meant for you will not require manipulation or desperation. It will come when your heart is ready to receive it, when your spirit is aligned with His will. Let go of fear. Fear will tell you that love must be chaste, that you must settle, that you must compromise. But God does not give fear. He gives peace. And when the right person arrives, when the one He has chosen stands before you, you will not have to question. There will be a stillness in your soul that tells you without words that you have stepped into something sacred. Trust the process. Trust the signs. Trust that what is meant for you cannot be taken away. Love, when it is from God, will not just fit into your life, it will transform it. It will reflect His love, His grace, His divine purpose. And when you find it, you will know, not because the world says so, not because of fleeting emotions, but because the Spirit within you will whisper, "This is the one." There is no need to rush, no need to grasp, no need to force what is already written in the heavens. The one God has chosen for you is already set in motion, already being guided toward you in ways beyond your comprehension. The divine timing of love is never late, never misplaced, never uncertain. It unfolds in the quiet, in the unseen, in the moments where faith is tested and patience is required. God is not merely preparing someone for you, He is preparing you for them. He is molding your heart, refining your spirit, shaping your character, so that when you stand before the one He has chosen, you will be ready to receive them fully. You will know them by the peace that surrounds them, the way your soul feels unburdened in their presence. This is not the temporary rush of infatuation, nor the fleeting excitement of something new. It is the kind of stillness that feels like home, as if you have found a missing piece you never knew you had lost. There is no need for pretense, no need to prove yourself, no need to be anything other than exactly who God created you to be. The right person will recognize you, not because of how well you fit into their expectations, but because their spirit will recognize yours. This love will not distract you from God. It will draw you closer to Him. It will not demand that you shrink to make room for someone else's needs. It will not pull you away from your purpose, nor will it cause you to lose yourself in the process. Instead, it will magnify the very best parts of who you are, revealing new depths of your own strength, your own faith, your own ability to love. The right person will not compete with your destiny. They will walk beside you as you step into it. Love that comes from God is built on a foundation of faith. It is not shaken by external circumstances, not broken by temporary hardships, not dictated by the shifting emotions of the moment. It is steady, unwavering, enduring. It does not come with doubt, nor does it leave you questioning your worth. When God places someone in your life, you will know because their love will reflect His love. Patient, kind, selfless, filled with grace. They will not be perfect, for no human is, but they will be perfectly aligned with the path God has set before you. There will be signs, confirmations that cannot be ignored. It may come in the repetition of a thought that will not leave you, the way their name seems to appear in unexpected places, the way you feel their presence, even when they are not near. Perhaps it is the way your prayers seem to align, the way their words echo the very things God has been speaking into your heart. Perhaps it is the way you feel a sense of divine protection around your connection, an unexplainable certainty that this is not something ordinary. God does not send confusion, He sends clarity. And when you are meant to be with someone, the truth of it will settle in your spirit long before it manifests in the physical world. Do not fear the waiting. Do not grow weary in the process. Every delay is divine preparation. Every moment of longing is shaping you into the person you are meant to become. The love that is meant for you cannot be rushed, nor can it be taken away. If you have to chase it, force it, beg for it, then it is not from God. What He has written for you will unfold naturally, with ease, with grace, with the quiet assurance that comes from knowing it was never yours to lose. There will be tests, moments where patience is stretched, where faith is required, where surrender is necessary. You may not always understand why things unfold the way they do, why certain people enter your life only to leave, why doors seem to close before the right one opens. But trust that every step is leading you closer, every lesson is refining you, every moment of uncertainty is preparing you for the certainty that is to come. God's love story for you is greater than anything you could script for yourself, and when it arrives, you will understand why nothing before it ever worked. Love is not about possession, not about control, not about bending another person to fit your desires. It is about alignment, about two souls moving toward the same light, about finding someone whose presence amplifies your faith rather than diminishes it. You will recognize them because their love will remind you of God's love. Steady, unconditional, filled with purpose. It will not be a love that binds you, but one that frees you. It will not be a love that requires you to sacrifice your peace, but one that enhances it. Do not settle for anything less than what is divinely appointed. The world may tell you to compromise, to take what is available rather than wait for what is right. But the world does not know the plans God has for you, nor does it understand the depths of what He has prepared. When you trust Him, you will see that He is never late, never indifferent, never mistaken. The one He has chosen for you is already moving toward you, just as you are moving toward them. The meeting will not be forced. The connection will not be fragile. It will be something that only He could have orchestrated, something that carries the unmistakable signature of the divine. If you find yourself doubting, if fear whispers that you will miss what is meant for you, silence it with faith. What belongs to you cannot be taken. What is written in the heavens cannot be erased. Love, true love, the love that is meant for you, is already on its way. And when it arrives, you will know, not because the world confirms it, but because the Spirit within you will whisper, "This is it." When God orchestrates the union of two souls, He does so with purpose, intention, and divine wisdom. The signs He provides are not merely coincidences, but rather gentle nudges, guiding hearts toward the path He has set for them. When God wants you to be with someone, the connection feels effortless, like two puzzle pieces fitting together perfectly. There is a sense of peace that surpasses all understanding, an unexplainable knowing that this person is meant to be in your life. One of the most significant signs God wants you to be with someone is alignment in purpose. The person He has chosen for you will not pull you away from your destiny, but will instead encourage and support your divine calling. They will uplift you in your spiritual journey, pushing you closer to God rather than away from Him. There will be no compromise on faith, values, or principles. Instead, there will be a shared vision of serving and glorifying God together. The presence of this person in your life will bring clarity, not confusion. Another indication of God's hand in your relationship is an overwhelming sense of inner peace. Love from God does not bring unnecessary turmoil, excessive anxiety, or doubt. Of course, no relationship is perfect, and challenges will arise, but there will always be a firm foundation of trust and stability. When God is at the center, fear has no place. His love casts out all fear, and the person He intends for you will not make you question your worth, your place in their life, or the future of your relationship. Instead, they will reassure you, cherish you, and treat you with honor and respect. Divine connections also come with growth, spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. God does not place someone in your life to stunt your progress, but to nurture and develop it. This person will challenge you to become better, to embrace your potential, and to walk in faith. They will be your partner in prayer, standing with you through trials and victories alike. Together you will find yourselves growing in patience, kindness, and wisdom. Their presence will refine you, not drain you. God's will is often revealed through His timing. Sometimes He asks us to wait because He is preparing us and the person He has destined for us. A relationship aligned with His purpose will not be forced or rushed. It will unfold naturally, with divine orchestration that leaves no doubt in your heart. Delays do not mean denial, they often signify preparation. If someone is meant for you, no amount of distance, obstacles, or external circumstances can prevent God from bringing you together at the right time. His plans are higher than ours, and when we trust in Him, we allow Him to work in ways beyond our comprehension. Another sign is the presence of divine confirmation. When God speaks, He often does so in multiple ways, through Scripture, through the counsel of wise believers, and through the deep convictions He places in our hearts. There will be moments when you receive confirmations in unexpected ways, a sermon that resonates with your situation, a feeling of assurance when you pray about the relationship, or even through the wisdom of godly friends and mentors. God does not operate in confusion. He confirms His will in ways that bring certainty, not ambiguity. In a relationship ordained by God, love is selfless. It mirrors the love described in 1 Corinthians 13. patient, kind, not envious or boastful, not proud or dishonoring. The person God has for you will love you in a way that reflects Christ's love, unconditional, forgiving, and unwavering. They will not manipulate, deceive, or mistreat you. Instead, they will seek to serve you, honor you, and build a relationship rooted in faith and mutual respect. Their love will not be based on fleeting emotions, but on a commitment to journey through life together, anchored in God's grace. Obstacles and trials will come, but when a relationship is divinely appointed, you will find yourselves overcoming them together rather than allowing them to drive you apart. God does not promise an easy road, but He does promise to walk with you every step of the way. The person He has for you will stand beside you through storms, not abandon you at the first sign of struggle. They will pray for you, encourage you, and remind you of God's promises when doubt creeps in. A relationship blessed by God will also bear good fruit. It will inspire joy, peace, patience, kindness, faithfulness, and self-control. Toxicity, manipulation, and constant chaos are not from God. If a relationship consistently brings more pain than joy, more stress than peace, it is worth asking whether it aligns with God's will. The right person will contribute to your overall well-being, bringing out the best in you rather than draining your spirit. When God wants you to be with someone, there is divine protection over your relationship. He shields it from unnecessary harm, keeps you from settling for less, and ensures that you do not walk into something that is not meant for you. You may not always see it in the moment, but His ways are higher and His wisdom is perfect. If a door closes, it is often for your protection. If a relationship ends, it is sometimes God's way of making space for the person He truly intends for you. God's desire is for us to experience love that reflects His heart. He is a God of love, and the relationships He ordains carry the essence of His character: grace, truth, sacrifice, and faithfulness. If you find yourself questioning whether someone is from God, ask yourself, does this relationship bring me closer to Him? Does it align with His word? Does it inspire growth, peace, and purpose? Does it reflect the fruits of the Spirit? When God places someone in your life, He will make it clear. His peace will accompany the relationship, His presence will be evident, and His hand will guide every step. Trust in His timing, surrender to His wisdom, and rest in the assurance that what He has planned for you is far greater than anything you could imagine. His love story for you is already written, and when the time is right, He will reveal the person He has chosen, one who will love you as He does, with a love that endures, strengthens, and glorifies Him. When God orchestrates a connection between two people, it is never by accident. He is a God of purpose, order, and divine intention. He knows what is best for your life, and when He desires for you to be with someone, He will ensure that everything aligns in His perfect time. There will be no need for excessive striving, manipulation, or forcing things to happen. His plans unfold with a sense of divine flow, and you will find that what is meant for you will never require you to compromise your faith, values, or sense of self. One of the clearest ways God reveals His will is through the consistency of His peace. When God is at the center of a relationship, there is an unshakable calm that surrounds it. Even in the face of difficulties, there is a deep-rooted assurance that this is where you are meant to be. This peace is not dependent on circumstances, but on the presence of God in your union. It reassures you when doubts arise, silences fears, and reminds you that God is in control. You will not be consumed by worry or plagued with uncertainty, because when something is truly from God, He confirms it with an inner tranquility that cannot be explained by logic alone. Another indication that God wants you to be with someone is the way that person brings out the best in you. They will not pull you away from your purpose, but will encourage you to walk boldly in it. They will inspire you to grow spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. A God-ordained partner will recognize the calling upon your life and support it wholeheartedly. They will not stifle your growth or make you feel as though you need to shrink yourself to accommodate them. Instead, they will celebrate who you are and help you become all that God has created you to be. Love that is from God is not rooted in selfishness or personal gain. It is sacrificial, giving, and deeply committed. The person God has for you will love you in a way that mirrors Christ's love, unconditionally, patiently, and with a servant's heart. They will seek to uplift you rather than tear you down. Their love will not be possessive or controlling, but instead, it will grant you freedom to flourish while remaining firmly rooted in loyalty and commitment. Their actions will align with their words, and their consistency will be a testament to their character. God often speaks through the people around us. Wise counsel can serve as confirmation of His will. The right relationship will not cause division among those who truly love and care for you. Instead, it will be affirmed by those who walk in wisdom and discernment. Spiritual mentors, family members, and trusted friends may recognize the divine nature of your relationship and encourage it, affirming what God has already placed in your heart. A relationship that is truly from God will not require you to isolate yourself from your support system. Instead, it will strengthen your community and bring about unity. Timing is an essential aspect of God's plan. Just because something does not happen immediately does not mean it is not meant to be. God may ask you to wait not as a punishment but as preparation. The person He has for you may still be going through their own season of growth, just as you are being refined and strengthened. If God asks you to be patient, trust that He is working behind the scenes, orchestrating everything according to His perfect plan. A delayed blessing is not a denied blessing. It is often God's way of ensuring that everything is aligned before He brings it to pass. One of the most beautiful aspects of a God-ordained relationship is the depth of emotional and spiritual intimacy that develops. When two people are brought together by God, their connection transcends surface-level attraction. There is a depth that cannot be fabricated. A meeting of souls that is rich, meaningful, and profound. Conversations are filled with purpose, and time spent together strengthens faith and deepens trust. There is a shared desire to pursue God together, to pray together, and to seek His will in every aspect of the relationship. Obstacles and challenges will arise, but a relationship that is ordained by God will withstand the storms. Love is not proven in moments of ease, but in times of difficulty. When God is at the center, trials will not drive you apart. Instead, they will bring you closer together. The person He has for you will stand beside you, not only in moments of joy, but also in moments of hardship. They will fight for the relationship rather than walk away when things get tough. Their commitment will not waver, and their love will be resilient, rooted in a foundation that cannot be easily shaken. In a relationship that is truly from God, there will be a mutual willingness to sacrifice and serve one another. Love is not about what one can take, but about what one is willing to give. The person God has for you will not only love you with words, but with actions. They will be willing to compromise where necessary, to support you when you are weak, and to walk alongside you in both the mundane and extraordinary moments of life. And their love will be steadfast and enduring, not dictated by fleeting emotions or changing circumstances. God also protects His children from relationships that are not meant for them. If something is not from Him, He will often make it evident through red flags, persistent unease, or closed doors. If a relationship requires you to compromise your faith, constantly question your worth, or endure consistent heartache, it may not be His will. God does not intend for His children to settle for less than what He has prepared for them. If He removes someone from your life, trust that He is making space for something greater. Letting go may be difficult, but what is truly meant for you will never require you to force it to fit. When God wants you to be with someone, He will open doors that no one can shut. Opportunities for growth, connection, and shared experiences will come naturally. The relationship will be marked by divine favor, with moments of confirmation that leave no room for doubt. Even in moments of uncertainty, there will be signs that affirm that you are walking in alignment with His will. God's ways are higher than our ways, and His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. Sometimes His plan may not unfold in the way we expected, but it will always be better than what we imagined. When we surrender our desires to Him, we allow Him to lead us to what is truly best for us. The person He has for you will not only be a romantic partner, but a spiritual companion, a best friend, and a co-laborer in Christ. Together you will build something that glorifies Him, reflecting His love and grace to the world. Trusting God's timing, His process, and His wisdom is essential in recognizing His will for your relationships. He does not withhold good things from His children, and if He has placed a desire in your heart for a God-honoring relationship, know that He will fulfill it in His perfect way. Patience, prayer, and discernment are key in waiting for the person He has prepared for you. The journey may not always be easy, but the destination will be worth it. When God brings two people together, it is for a purpose that is greater than themselves. It is to glorify Him, to serve Him, and to reflect His love in a way that inspires and blesses others. True love, the kind that is divinely orchestrated, will not only transform your life, but will also impact those around you. It will be a testimony of God's faithfulness, a reminder that He is the ultimate author of love stories, and that what He has planned is always worth the wait. When God aligns two souls, the connection is not based on fleeting emotions or worldly standards, but on a deep spiritual foundation that withstands the test of time. The love He ordains is not about temporary pleasure or surface-level attraction. It is about something eternal, something rooted in His divine plan. When God wants you to be with someone, there is a divine harmony between you, an unspoken understanding that surpasses human logic. You feel at home in their presence, not because they are perfect, but because they reflect the kind of love that brings peace, stability, and purpose. There is no pressure to impress or perform. Instead, there is a deep sense of being accepted as you are, while still being encouraged to grow into who God has called you to be. Love that comes from God is never manipulative or forceful. It does not seek to control or dominate, but to uplift and empower. The person God has for you will not lead you into confusion, dishonor, or sin. Instead, they will encourage you to seek Him first, to grow in faith, and to build a relationship centered on His Word. Their love will not require you to abandon your values, compromise your beliefs, or sacrifice your peace. Rather, it will reaffirm what God has already spoken over your life. There will be a partner in your spiritual journey, someone who prays with you, intercedes for you, and walks alongside you in faith. When God orchestrates a relationship, He ensures that it aligns with His timing, His plans, and His purpose for your life. He is not a God of disorder, and He does not place people in your life to create chaos or confusion. If a relationship constantly brings more pain than joy, more doubt than assurance, and more tears than peace, it is worth evaluating whether it is truly from Him. Love that is divinely ordained is meant to edify, to nurture, and to build, not to break, destroy, or leave you feeling empty. The right person will not exhaust your spirit, but will bring rest to your soul. They will be a reflection of God's love, patient, kind, faithful, and unwavering. God's will is often confirmed through doors that open effortlessly. When He wants you to be with someone, you will not have to force the relationship to work. Of course, every relationship requires effort, but there is a difference between working toward growth and striving to hold something together that was never meant to be. A God-ordained connection unfolds naturally. There will be divine appointments, unexpected confirmations, and moments that make you realize that only God could have orchestrated this. The right person will come into your life as a blessing, not a burden. Their presence will feel like an answered prayer, not an endless struggle. A significant sign that a relationship is from God is the fruit it bears. The Bible teaches that we can recognize things by their fruit. A relationship that is truly meant for you will bear the fruit of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. If a relationship constantly brings strife, dishonesty, jealousy, manipulation, or toxicity, then it is not aligned with God's heart. The person God has for you will not be perfect, but they will consistently strive to love you in a way that reflects Christ's love. Their love will be selfless, sacrificial, and steadfast, standing firm through the trials of life. There is a difference between worldly love and godly love. Worldly love is conditional. It is based on circumstances, emotions, and personal gain. It fades when times get tough and disappears when expectations are not met. Godly love, however, is built on faith, commitment, and grace. It is not just about feelings, it is about choice. Choosing to love even when it is difficult, choosing to serve even when it is inconvenient, and choosing to remain faithful even when the world gives every reason to walk away. The person God has for you will not love you only when it is easy, but will stand by your side through every season, honoring the commitment that was made before God. God's love story for you is not based on fairy tale romance, but on the deep, abiding love that comes from Him. The right person will love you with the kind of love that endures. They will not give up on you when challenges arise, but will fight for the relationship with prayer, patience, and perseverance. They will understand that love is not about perfection, but about grace, forgiveness, and an unwavering commitment to walk together in faith. Their love will be consistent, not conditional. It will be a reflection of God's covenant love, the one that does not waver, even in the face of trials. A God-ordained relationship is not just about companionship. It is about partnership in purpose. When God brings two people together, He does so with a mission in mind. The right person will not only love you, but will also walk with you in fulfilling God's purpose for your life. They will encourage your calling, support your dreams, and stand with you in faith. Together you will be stronger, more effective, and more impactful in the kingdom of God. Your relationship will not be just about personal happiness, but about glorifying God in all that you do. When God writes your love story, He does it in a way that brings Him glory. He removes distractions, protects you from counterfeits, and guides you toward what is truly meant for you. There will be divine confirmations along the way, moments where God speaks through His word, through people, and through the peace He places in your heart. The right person will not only love you, but will lead you closer to Him. Their presence in your life will be a reflection of God's goodness, a reminder that He is faithful to fulfill His promises. The waiting on God's timing requires patience, trust, and faith. It can be difficult to wait, especially when the world around you seems to be moving at a different pace. But God is not slow in keeping His promises. He knows what is best for you, and He is preparing both you and the person He has for you in ways you may not even realize. The delays are not meant to discourage you, but to develop you. They are shaping you into the person who will be ready to receive the love God has prepared. If you are in a season of waiting, trust that God is working, even when you cannot see it. The most important thing is to seek God first. When He is at the center of your life, everything else will fall into place in His perfect time. Love should never take you away from your relationship with God. It should draw you closer to Him. The right person will not replace God in your heart, but will walk with you in faith, encouraging you to seek Him even more. They will love you in a way that reflects His love, honoring you, cherishing you, and building a relationship that stands on a foundation of faith. Love that comes from God is worth the wait. It is worth trusting His process, surrendering to His will, and believing that He is working all things together for your good. His plans are always greater than anything we could imagine. The person He has for you will be the one who brings you peace, supports your purpose, and walks with you in faith. When you find them, you will know, not because of worldly signs, but because of the undeniable presence of God's hand in your relationship. And when that happens, you will realize that everything you waited for, prayed for, and trusted God for was always worth it. When God wants you to be with someone, He makes it clear through peace, alignment, and divine confirmation. His love story for you is not one of confusion or compromise, but of purpose and fulfillment. The right person will not only love you deeply, but will also walk with you in faith, helping you grow spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. A relationship ordained by God is one that stands firm through trials, bears the fruit of the Spirit, and ultimately glorifies Him. Waiting on His timing requires patience, but His plans are always greater than anything we could imagine. If you are in a season of uncertainty, trust that God is working behind the scenes, preparing both you and the person He has for you. When the time is right, everything will align, and His presence will be evident in your union. Until then, seek Him first, trust His process, and know that what He has planned for you will always be worth the wait. There comes a time in life when the voice of God speaks so clearly that to ignore it is to invite suffering. You feel the weight in your heart, the whisper in your soul, the quiet yet firm pull that tells you it is time to let them go. And yet you resist. You hold on, gripping so tightly to what once was, afraid that if you release, you will lose a part of yourself. But hear this: what is truly yours by divine right can never be taken away, and what is not meant for you will only bring delay, stagnation, and pain. God does not take from you to punish you, He removes to align you. There are relationships that have served their purpose, seasons that have completed their course, and people who were never meant to stay. But the human heart clings, not realizing that what it grasps onto so desperately is the very thing blocking its blessing. You must trust that what leaves is making room for something greater, something divinely appointed, something that will elevate you beyond your current comprehension. It is not your duty to beg for someone to see your worth. It is not your calling to convince someone to stay. When God shows you who people are, believe Him the first time. Do not rewrite the script. Do not try to turn a goodbye into a pause. When the signs are clear, when the actions do not align with love, when the energy shifts, trust that the chapter is ending for a reason. Your resistance does not change the will of God. It only prolongs the lesson. Many fear that in letting go, they will be left with nothing, but that is an illusion. The void that follows is not emptiness. It is sacred space. It is where healing happens, where revelation occurs, where new blessings are planted. If you hold on to a door that God has closed, you miss the one He is waiting to open. You cannot walk into your divine future while dragging the weight of your past. Release with grace. Walk away with faith. Letting go is not loss, it is alignment. The pain of separation is temporary, but the peace of obedience is eternal. You may not understand it now, but there will come a day when you look back and see the divine orchestration. You will see how every removal was protection, how every ending was a beginning, how every goodbye was a whispered blessing. Let them go, move forward. God has something far greater ahead. There is a moment when the soul recognizes what the heart refuses to accept. That moment when God whispers, or sometimes even shouts, that it is time to walk away. Yet the human spirit, in its longing for familiarity, resists. It rationalizes, it hopes, it prays for things to be different, for people to change, for the situation to align with our desires. But God, in His infinite wisdom, sees beyond what we can see. He knows what is weighing us down, what is hindering our purpose, what is keeping us from the life He has designed for us. And so He begins to strip away what no longer serves us, what no longer feeds our spirit, what no longer aligns with our destiny. At first it feels like loss. It feels like punishment. The void left behind seems unbearable, like a wound that refuses to heal. But what if this pain is not a curse, but a blessing in disguise? What if this separation is not rejection, but redirection? What if God is preparing you for something greater, something that requires you to be free, unburdened, and fully aligned with His will? The discomfort you feel is not meant to break you, but to break you open, to release the chains of attachment, to shatter the illusions that have kept you bound, to awaken you to the divine truth that you are meant for more. You must understand that not everyone who enters your life is meant to stay. Some people come as lessons, some as tests, some as stepping stones to guide you to the next level. And when their time is up, holding on to them will only cause suffering. The mistake many make is confusing longevity with destiny. Just because someone has been in your life for years does not mean they are meant to be in your future. Some relationships are for a season, some friendships are for a chapter, and some connections are meant to dissolve so that you can step fully into who you are meant to be. God has seen the private battles you have fought. He has heard the silent cries, the prayers whispered in the dark, the moments when your heart ached for love that was not returned, for loyalty that was betrayed, for understanding that never came. He knows the weight you have carried, the exhaustion of trying to hold together what was already falling apart. And so He steps in, not because He wants you to suffer, but because He wants you to heal. He wants you to stop chasing what is running away, to stop watering what is already dead, to stop clinging to what no longer belongs to you. Letting go is not easy. The mind will replay memories, will remind you of the good times, will whisper fears of loneliness, of regret, of the unknown. But you must silence those voices and tune into a greater truth. Anything that requires you to beg, to shrink, to lose yourself in order to keep it, is not from God. Anything that drains your spirit, that disrupts your peace, that pulls you away from your purpose, is not meant for you. God does not call you into suffering. He calls you into peace, into joy, into fulfillment. And sometimes the only way to receive those blessings is to release the things that are blocking them. The human heart, in its desire for love and belonging, often settles. It holds on to toxic relationships out of fear, fear of being alone, fear of starting over, fear of not finding better. But God never removes without replacing. He never asks you to let go without having something greater in store. The problem is that many refuse to trust the process. They hold on to the old because they do not yet see the new. But faith is trusting in what is unseen. Faith is walking away even when you do not know what comes next. Faith is believing that if God is telling you to release, it is because He has already prepared something better for you. The enemy will try to convince you otherwise. He will use your emotions against you, will fill your mind with doubts, will make you question your worth, your decisions, your future. But you must stand firm. You must remind yourself that you are not being abandoned, you are being elevated. That what is leaving your life is not a loss, but a necessary shift. That every ending is a divine setup for something greater. It is not your responsibility to make someone see your value. It is not your job to prove your worth to those who do not recognize it. You are a child of God, and anyone who cannot see the light within you is not meant to walk this journey with you. Stop fighting for a place in the lives of those who do not fight for you. Stop giving your energy to those who only take and never pour back into you. Stop seeking love in places where love does not truly exist. You deserve to be surrounded by those who uplift you, who cherish you, who see the beauty in you without you having to constantly prove it. And if someone cannot do that, then they are not your people. If someone does not appreciate your presence, then they should not have access to you. If someone repeatedly shows you through their actions that they do not value you, then you must believe them and walk away. God is not just calling you to let them go. He is calling you to heal, to rise, to step into a new level of faith, to trust that what He has for you is far greater than anything you are leaving behind, to believe that the love, the joy, the peace you seek is already on its way to you. But it cannot reach you if you are still holding on to what is not meant for you. The growth requires separation, transformation requires release. Evolution requires shedding the old so that the new can emerge. And this process, though painful, is necessary. You may not see it now, but one day you will look back and understand why things had to happen the way they did. You will see how every closed door led you to something better, how every goodbye was a redirection toward something greater, how every loss was actually a gain. But you do not have to wait for hindsight to trust God's plan. You can choose to trust it now. You can choose to surrender. You can choose to release with grace, to walk away with faith, to step into your future with confidence, knowing that you are divinely guided, divinely protected, divinely loved. God is telling you to let them go, not because He wants to hurt you, but because He wants to heal you. Not because He wants to take from you, but because He wants to give to you. Not because He is punishing you, but because He is preparing you for something far beyond what you can imagine. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. You are being led. Trust the process. Let go. Move forward. Something far greater is waiting for you. You are standing at the edge of something new, something unseen, something greater than what you have known. Yet your heart hesitates. It clings to what is familiar, even when that familiarity has brought nothing but pain. There is a divine whisper within you, a knowing so deep that it cannot be ignored. It is God's voice, guiding you, urging you, reminding you that what you are holding on to is no longer meant for you. And yet, you resist. You bargain with God, asking Him to change the situation, to fix what is broken, to make them stay. But God does not operate through force. He operates through alignment. And when something is no longer in alignment with your purpose, He will remove it, not to hurt you, but to heal you. You are not meant to live in a state of attachment to what drains you. You are not created to suffer under the weight of relationships that no longer serve your highest good. Yet so often people stay where they do not belong out of fear, out of obligation, out of the false belief that letting go means failure. But what if letting go is not an ending, but a beginning? What if it is the very act that sets you free, that allows you to finally breathe, that opens the doors to blessings you have not yet imagined? What if this separation is not rejection, but protection? God does not ask you to release without purpose. He does not ask you to walk away without having already prepared a new path for you. But the challenge is trusting what you cannot yet see, believing in what has not yet manifested, knowing that the very thing you are afraid to let go of is what is standing between you and your next level. You cannot receive what is meant for you if your hands are still full of what no longer belongs to you. You cannot step into your future while dragging the past behind you. The weight is too heavy. The burden is not yours to carry. And yet you hold on. Letting go does not mean you did not love them. It does not mean you did not try. It does not mean you failed. It means you are choosing yourself. It means you are honoring the voice within you that says, I deserve more. It means you are trusting God enough to follow where He leads, even when the path is unclear. And though your heart may break, though tears may fall, though the nights may be long and lonely, there will come a day when you understand why things had to happen this way. There will come a day when you look back and see the divine orchestration, how every loss was actually a gain, how every closed door was leading you to something better, how every goodbye was making space for the right people to enter your life. You do not need to force what is meant to be. Love, respect, and true connection do not require begging, chasing, or compromising your worth. If someone cannot see the value of your presence, they do not deserve a place in your future. If someone repeatedly chooses to hurt you, to disregard you, to make you feel unworthy, that is your sign. That is your answer. And no matter how much you love them, no matter how much history you share, you must love yourself enough to walk away. People will show you who they are through their actions. Believe them. Do not rewrite the story. Do not create excuses for behavior that does not align with love. If they wanted to stay, they would. If they truly valued you, they would show it. If they were meant to be a part of your future, God would not be asking you to release them. Holding onto something God is trying to remove will only cause you more pain. It will delay your blessings. It will block what is truly meant for you. And the longer you resist, the harder the lesson will become. You have already seen the signs. The energy has shifted. The connection is not the same. The conversations are forced. The love that once felt effortless now feels like a battle. You keep trying, keep hoping, keep praying that things will go back to the way they were. But they won't. Because God is calling you higher. He is calling you out of spaces that no longer nurture your soul. He is calling you into a season of healing, of renewal, of divine transformation. And in order to receive it, you must be willing to let go of everything that is no longer serving you. The pain of release is temporary. The peace that follows is eternal. But you must be brave enough to trust that what is ahead is greater than what is behind. You must believe that God's plan for you is far beyond what you can imagine. He sees the road ahead. He knows what is waiting for you, and He is asking you to trust Him, even when it feels like you are walking into the unknown. What if the love you have been praying for is waiting just beyond this chapter? What if the peace you have been longing for is on the other side of this release? What if the very thing you are afraid to lose is what is keeping you from your breakthrough? God does not take without purpose. He does not remove without replacing. But He needs you to surrender. He needs you to trust that His plan is greater than your attachment. You are being set free. You are being prepared for something greater. The people who could not see your worth, the ones who took your love for granted, the ones who could not appreciate the light within you, they were never meant to stay. They were a part of your journey, but not your destination. And though it hurts, though it feels like you are losing something precious, know that you are actually gaining everything. You are gaining yourself, your peace, your purpose, your divine alignment. The love you truly deserve will not require you to suffer. The relationships meant for you will not bring confusion, inconsistency, or pain. God is not the author of chaos. He is the author of clarity. And when something is truly meant for you, it will flow, it will be effortless, it will feel like home. So if you are struggling, if you are in turmoil, if your heart is heavy with uncertainty, that is your answer. That is your sign that you are holding on to something that is not meant for you. It is time to let go, to release the fear, to trust in what is unseen, to walk forward with faith, knowing that you are being divinely guided. You may not see it now, but one day you will thank God for removing what was never meant to stay. One day you will understand that every tear, every goodbye, every loss was actually a blessing in disguise. One day you will look back and realize that God was not taking from you, He was saving you. You are being called to something greater. You are being prepared for something divine. Do not let fear keep you from your destiny. Let go. Move forward. Trust the process. God has already gone before you. The best is yet to come. There comes a moment when you must decide. Do you stay in a place where you are merely tolerated, or do you walk forward into the life where you are fully embraced? This is the moment of surrender, the moment where God is speaking directly to your heart, asking you to trust Him, to believe in what He has prepared for you, even though you cannot see it yet. And yet fear grips you. The unknown seems vast, uncharted, unfamiliar. You want to hold on, to cling to what you have known, to keep fighting for something that God has already declared finished. But no matter how tightly you grip, no matter how much you try to hold the pieces together, you feel it slipping away. And deep down you know you were never meant to stay here. God never removes without reason. He never asks you to let go without already having something greater prepared. But the human heart resists change. It fights against discomfort. It wants certainty, assurance, a clear sign that what is ahead is better than what is behind. But faith does not work that way. Faith asks you to step out while you are still afraid. Faith asks you to trust in the unseen. Faith asks you to believe that the same God who created you has not forgotten you, has not abandoned you, and will never lead you into emptiness. You are being redirected, repositioned, renewed. What once felt like rejection is actually divine protection. What seemed like loss is actually gain. You are being emptied of what is no longer serving you so that you may be filled with what is divinely meant for you. But until you let go, until you surrender, you cannot receive it. You cannot grasp the future while your hands are still full of the past. You cannot embrace what is meant for you while you are still mourning what was never truly yours. You saw the signs, you felt the shift, you knew long before this moment that something was not right, the energy was different, the words stopped matching the actions. The love that once felt like a sanctuary became something that brought more pain than peace. And still you held on, hoping, praying, waiting for things to change. But they did not, because God was calling you out, because He was showing you that you deserve more. Because He was showing you that you deserve more, because He was preparing you for something far greater than you ever imagined. People often stay in places where their soul no longer belongs because they fear being alone. They fear the emptiness, the silence, the uncertainty. But what if the solitude is not punishment, but preparation? What if the quiet is not loneliness, but a sacred space where God is trying to speak to you, trying to heal you, trying to realign you with your true purpose? What if this is not the end, but the beginning of something so divine, so beautiful, so life-changing, that you will one day look back and weep with gratitude that you had the courage to walk away? Letting go does not mean forgetting. It does not mean that the love you had was not real, that the moments you shared were not meaningful, that the connection was not significant. It means you are releasing the attachment to something that is no longer aligned with your destiny. It means you are choosing yourself. It means you are saying, God, I trust you. Even though this hurts, even though I don't understand, even though my heart is breaking, I trust that what you have for me is greater than what I am leaving behind. There is a version of you waiting on the other side of this, a version of you that is whole, a version of you that is healed, a version of you that no longer settles for less than what God has intended. But you must walk through the fire to become that version. You must be willing to feel the grief, to sit with the discomfort, to trust that even in the pain God is working. And though it may not make sense now, though the tears may feel endless, though the nights may seem unbearably long, there will come a day when you understand. There will come a day when you look back and see how every closed door, every goodbye, every painful ending was necessary for your transformation. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. You are not being abandoned. You are being set free. But the choice is yours. Will you stay where you no longer belong, or will you trust God enough to move forward? Will you keep begging for something that is not meant for you, or will you surrender to the divine plan that has already been written for your life? The world will tell you that holding on is strength, that fighting for something is what makes you worthy. But true strength is knowing when to walk away. True faith is trusting even when you cannot see. True courage is saying, God, I release this. I surrender this. I will not chase, I will not beg, I will not hold on to something you have already removed from my life. And in that surrender, something shifts. The weight lifts, the anxiety fades, the pain, though still present, no longer controls you. Because in that moment, you remember who you are. You remember whose you are. You remember that you were never meant to suffer for love, never meant to chase what is meant to stay, never meant to live in a state of fear, of uncertainty, of desperation. What God has for you is already yours. The love that is meant for you will not require you to lose yourself. The purpose that is meant for you will not bring confusion. The blessings that are meant for you will not feel like a battle. When something is divinely aligned, it flows. It does not force. It does not require you to beg, to chase, to break yourself into pieces just to make it fit. So this is your moment to choose faith over fear, your moment to let go of what no longer serves you, your moment to step into the fullness of what God has been preparing for you all along. It may not feel easy, it may not make sense, but one day, when you are standing in the middle of the life you once prayed for, you will understand why they had to happen. You will understand why God whispered to your soul, "Let them go. I have something greater for you." And when that day comes, you will not mourn what was lost. You will rejoice in what was found, because you will finally see that every ending was really a beginning, that every closed door was leading you somewhere divine, that every painful goodbye was God's way of setting you free. There is a version of you that exists beyond this heartbreak, beyond this moment of pain, beyond the attachment that has kept you bound. You may not see it yet, but it is there, waiting for you to embrace it, to step into it, to claim it as your own. But first, you must let go. You must release what is no longer serving your highest good. You must trust that God is not taking something away from you to harm you, but to heal you. So often we resist the very things that are meant to free us. We hold on because we are afraid to start over. We cling to relationships that drain us, to situations that break us, to cycles that leave us empty. And we wonder why we feel lost, why we feel unfulfilled, why we feel like no matter how much we try, nothing changes. The truth is, nothing changes because we refuse to change. We refuse to let go. We refuse to trust the process of divine alignment. There is something powerful about surrender. When you stop forcing, stop chasing, stop trying to control what was never yours to control, you make space for miracles. You make space for the love that is meant to find you. You make space for the peace that is meant to fill you. You make space for the purpose that is calling your name. But when your hands are clenched, when your heart is holding on to what is already gone, you block the very blessings that are trying to reach you. God knows what is best for you. He sees beyond what you can see. You may be looking at this moment through the lens of loss, but God sees the victory that is unfolding. You may think you are losing something, but in reality, you are gaining clarity. You are gaining freedom. You are gaining the opportunity to realign with your destiny. And what a gift that is, to be redirected, to be positioned, to be prepared for something greater. This pain is temporary. This heartbreak will not define you. This season of letting go is not the end of your story. It is merely the chapter where you learn what true faith looks like. Faith is not believing when everything is going well. Faith is trusting when everything is falling apart. Faith is standing in the middle of uncertainty and declaring that you are still blessed, still favored, still chosen by God. You were never meant to live in struggle. You were never meant to force love. You were never meant to beg for attention, for validation, for someone to see your worth. You are already worthy. You are already loved. You are already whole. And the moment you recognize that, the moment you stop seeking outside of yourself for something that only God can give, you will feel the weight lift. You will feel the peace enter. You will feel the shift in your spirit that tells you, this is where you are meant to be. Not everyone is meant to stay. Not everyone is meant to walk with you into the next chapter, and that is okay. It does not mean they were not important. It does not mean they were not a part of your journey. It simply means their role in your story has ended. And just like a book, you cannot keep rereading the same chapter and expect to move forward. You must turn the page. You must trust that the story ahead is worth reading, worth experiencing, worth embracing with an open heart. You may feel like you are walking away empty-handed, but you are not. You are walking away with wisdom. You are walking away with strength. You are walking away with the lesson that not everything is meant to be held on to. And in that lesson, there is power. Power to create a new life. Power to love yourself more deeply. power to walk with confidence, knowing that what is meant for you will never require you to betray yourself in order to keep it. It is time to release. It is time to breathe again. It is time to believe that the best is not behind you but ahead of you. The past served its purpose. It taught you what you needed to learn. But now it is time to move forward with grace, with trust, with the unwavering faith that you are being guided to something far greater than anything you are leaving behind. One day you will look back at this moment and smile. You will see how every loss was actually a gain. You will understand why certain doors had to close. You will realize that what you thought was a setback was actually a setup for something divine. And in that moment you will not mourn what you lost. You will celebrate what you found. Yourself, your strength, your unshakable faith, and most importantly, the life God always intended for you, and the life God always intended for you. There is a divine order to all things, and what seems like an ending is merely a transition. You have spent so much energy trying to hold on, believing that if you just do more, give more, sacrifice more, things will change. But deep in your heart, you know the truth. You know that God has been whispering to you, nudging you, sending you signs that it is time to move on. Yet fear has kept you in place. Fear of the unknown. Fear of being alone. Fear of walking away from what feels familiar. But familiarity does not always mean destiny. Just because something has been a part of your life does not mean it was meant to last forever. You were created for more than struggle. You were created for more than begging for love, for attention, for someone to choose you. You were chosen before the foundation of the world. You were set apart for something greater. Yet you have been settling for less because you do not fully believe in your worth. God is telling you now, let go, not because you are being punished, but because you are being prepared for something better. Growth is painful, change is uncomfortable, but stagnation is far worse. How many nights have you cried out, asking for a sign? How many times have you prayed for clarity, for strength, for direction? And yet when the answer comes, you resist it. You rationalize staying. You justify the suffering. But God does not call you to remain in places where your spirit is suffocated. He calls you to life, to abundance, to freedom. And that freedom begins with a single act of faith, the courage to walk away. Everything in your life is unfolding exactly as it should. You may not understand it now. It may not make sense in this moment. But trust that there is a greater picture, a higher purpose. The things you thought you needed, the people you thought would be with you forever, if they are being removed, it is because they have fulfilled their role in your story. To try to hold on is to resist divine alignment. And when you resist, you prolong your suffering. The moment you surrender, the moment you say, God, I trust you, a weight will lift. The burden you have carried will begin to fade. The sleepless nights, the racing thoughts, the anxiety of trying to make something work that was never meant to, those will be replaced with a peace that surpasses all understanding. That is what happens when you stop trying to force what is already finished. Letting go is not losing. Letting go is not giving up. Letting go is stepping into alignment. It is an act of faith. It is declaring that you trust God's plan more than your own desires. It is choosing yourself, your peace, your future over the comfort of what is familiar but no longer fulfilling. You have outgrown this place, you have outgrown this version of yourself, and now you must make the decision to rise, to step into the unknown, to embrace the discomfort, to trust that even though you cannot see the whole path, the next step will always be revealed. The same God who brought you this far will not abandon you now. The same God who opened doors in the past will open new ones. But first you must close the ones that are no longer meant for you. One day you will look back and realize that this moment, this painful, difficult moment, was the beginning of everything you prayed for. The breakthrough you've been seeking is on the other side of your obedience. The life you have been longing for begins the moment you choose to let go. And when you finally step into that new reality, you will not regret the things you left behind. You will only wonder why you waited so long. You may feel the weight of this moment pressing against your soul, the pain of separation lingering in your heart, the uncertainty of the future causing fear to rise within you. But what if you knew, deep down, that this very moment of release is what will lead you to the greatest transformation of your life? What if you understood that letting go is not an act of weakness, but an act of ultimate faith? What if you realized that everything that is leading you is only making space for something far greater? The human heart clings to what is familiar, even when familiarity brings suffering. You have prayed for change, but are you willing to accept the way change comes? You have asked for elevation, but are you prepared to leave behind what weighs you down? You have sought peace, but are you ready to walk away from what disturbs your spirit? Too often, the answers to our prayers come disguised as endings, as disappointments, as separations that feel unbearable. But what if this is not the end at all? What if this is the divine redirection you have been waiting for? Every great transformation begins with release. A seed does not become a tree without first breaking open. A caterpillar does not become a butterfly without leaving behind its cocoon. And you will not become who you are meant to be without shedding the past that has kept you bound. You cannot hold on to what is comfortable and step into your destiny at the same time. One must be sacrificed for the other. And God is asking you now, which will you choose? Will you choose the known pain of the past or the unknown promise of your future? You have stayed in this place for too long. You have tried to make it work. You have given your all. But now God is calling you higher. And if you ignore the call, if you refuse to move, if you keep holding on, you will only delay the blessings that are waiting for you. The longer you resist, the more painful the lesson becomes. The longer you hold on, the more you drain your own spirit. But the moment you decide to trust, to surrender, to finally let go, you will feel the shift. You will feel the weight lift. You will realize that what you thought you needed was only keeping you small. Your life was never meant to be lived in struggle. Your heart was never meant to carry this much sorrow. Your spirit was never meant to shrink in order to fit into places where you were never truly seen. The moment you accept that, the moment you stop settling, you will understand that you are not losing, you are being set free. Free from expectations that were never yours to meet. Free from relationships that drained you instead of filled you. Free from cycles of disappointment that kept you trapped in the past. God has something better for you. He has joy for you. He has love for you. He has a life so abundant, so fulfilling, so peaceful that the moment you step into it, you will look back at this moment of letting go and realize it was the greatest gift you ever received. But you must trust. You must take the step. You must believe that what is leaving your life is not a loss, but a blessing in disguise. You were never meant to beg for love. You were never meant to prove your worth to people who refuse to see it. You were never meant to keep holding on to something that is already gone. When God closes a door, it is not your job to stand there knocking. When He removes something from your life, it is not your place to chase after it. What is meant for you will not require force. What is meant for you will not require you to break yourself in order to keep it. You may not understand it now, but one day you will. One day you will wake up and the pain will no longer be there. One day you will realize that everything you thought you lost was replaced with something better. One day you will see that the heartbreak was actually healing. The rejection was actually protection. The loss was actually gain. And in that moment you will be grateful that you had the courage to let go. You are stepping into a new season, a season of restoration, a season of clarity, a season where everything that is meant for you will come effortlessly, without force, without struggle, without you having to fight for it. Because that is how God works. He does not bring confusion. He does not bring pain without purpose. He does not take something away unless He is preparing you for something greater. Trust that greater is coming. Trust that peace is on the other side of this pain. Trust that one day you will look back at this very moment and realize that this was the day you reclaimed your power. This was the day you chose yourself. This was the day you finally let go and made space for the life God always had waiting for you. One day you will look back at this moment and realize it was the turning point, the moment you chose faith over fear, peace over pain, and destiny over familiarity. What felt like loss was actually grace. What seemed like an ending was the beginning of something greater. You were never abandoned. You were being guided. You were never forgotten. You were being prepared. Trust that what is ahead is far greater than what you are leaving behind. Walk forward with courage, knowing that when you let go, you are not falling, you are finally rising.